I would like to once again welcome all of you for this national conference. On behalf of my government also, I welcome all of you to Bengaluru. On the dais, we have the most respected, most resourceful person and who has been the part of the draft committee for the national education policy, who is the vice chairman of the UGC, holding various positions by passion, by commitment, by profession, is a teacher. So he has got so much of interest and concern. I acknowledge the presence of our Dr. M.K. Sridhar, who has been always a guiding spirit for all of us, and particularly for me. So as well as we have the moderator, Professor Pragnesha, and as well as our Honorable Vice Chancellor for Bangalore North University, Dr. Niranjan. And all other dignitaries, and most important, our Lakshmanji, the man behind the entire show. I respect his presence. And we have our member of Legislative Council, Adi Vigadaji, who has been also a teacher and he has worked in the education department. Without taking much of your time, sir, since all of you know about the education system and the policies, with regard to the third national education policy, since I was given an opportunity to be in the part of the Ministry of Honorable Chief Predecessor Yediyurappaji, when he was the Chief Minister, I was appointed as the Higher Education Minister. During that, our tenure in his leadership, since the entire country was looking forward for the implementation of the national education policy, the state had become the most happening place. The state of Karnataka had become the most happening place since we had the chairman of the draft committee, Dr. Kasturi Rangan, residing in Bangalore. And most of all the work related to the national education policy was happening in Bengaluru. And Dr. M.K. Sridhar, Kattimani, many more dignitaries, they were all part of this committee. So we were closely connected, and I happened to be the higher education minister, and Suresh Kumar was the primary and secondary education minister. We were working very closely, and we were guided time and again by all these dignitaries and the leading lights. So we took the initiative of constituting a task force with regard to the national education policy. Once the draft report was released, we constituted a committee, task force, to look into the implementation and prepare a report for the implementation. Probably in this direction, the committee was constituted under the chairmanship of our former Chief Secretary and then Vice Chairman of the Karnataka State Higher Education Council, Mr. Rangnath. S.V. Rangnath was made the chairman, and a team was constituted. They came out with a report submitted in the month of around July. July they submitted the report. The same report what was submitted by the task force was accepted by our cabinet, by the government of Karnataka cabinet. It was accepted in the 2020 December. And our Honorable Prime Minister made an announcement of implementing the national education policy in the month of July 29. So once the announcement was made in the state of Karnataka under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister, then Chief Minister Sri Yediyurappaji, we accepted a report in the cabinet and thereby enabling the implementation of the national education policy started. We had two sections, one is in the school education, another is the higher education. So in the higher education, I was heading the ministry and we started preparing. Always we were guided by Dr. M.K. Sridhar, and entire Parivar was guiding us. So we took up that initiative and started working, and even parallelly we had many more meetings in our organization also, constantly asking what about the status, what is happening, where are we, what are the measures been taken up. with regard to the implementation. So all this led to us to look forward for the implementation. So all the preparation happened and we made an announcement in the 7th of the August 2021. We decided that we are going for the implementation, and already the report was accepted by the government of Karnataka. Well, the government order was issued on the August 7th of 2021 to implement the national education policy in the higher education from the academic year. Government order was issued in the direction, and we had a very good response from all the universities. The required preparation had already started in the respective universities as well as in the Karnataka State Higher Education Council with regard to the curriculum framework and with regard to the content and the syllabus, what needs to be done, what changes needs to be brought in all the subjects. 40 subject-wise committee was constituted to prepare the syllabus and the content with regard to how to go about it. So as per the structure, whatever was recommended by the Higher Education Council and the National Education Policy, we wanted to implement in the right spirit. In the same spirit, we wanted to implement and took all the measures, and we got very good response and support from all the institutions across the state of Karnataka. And more so, our government was very keen to implement national education policy. So the government commitment was there to implement the national education policy. We took all the measures, fully understanding why it is required, how it is going to help, how it is going to transform the lives of the people. This is a way forward, since 21st century is a century of knowledge-based economy. So we are competing with the entire world. It is not just competition among ourselves, between some institution or between some state, nothing like that. We need to stay relevant. We need to stay relevant in the entire world. For us to stay relevant is to ensure not just quantity, we need to provide quality education. Quality is the only benchmark. Without quality, we can't sustain. And more so when I, as an ITBT minister also, I could understand what was the requirement of the industry, what kind of expectation was in the industry, what kind of supply chain. The supply of the talent was very much required. The kind of opportunity what was available was plenty. But there was a shortage of talent. It is the other way around. We always keep talking, we don't get much opportunity. But here was an opportunity where we required too much of talented youngsters, which was not available. So to address all these challenges, only way we had is to bring this kind of reforms in higher education through the implementation of national education policy. So with regard to what is in the national education policy, all of you know very well what kind of opportunity, what kind of transformation it can bring in the national education policy. Understanding this, we implemented in the right spirit, and there were challenges. There were some challenges. Definitely, changes will not be accepted so easily. They will have their own apprehensions, their own anxiety, their own understanding. Will it be equitable? It will be inclusive, or it is student friendly, or it is against the teachers. So all these questions keep cropping up, and it was something, it was so flexible, it was so forward looking. I don't even see a single thing, a single issue going against the interest of the professors, teachers, or the students, or the institution. It was really very enabling, forward looking, and empowering institutions, students, teachers, everybody to come together for one cause, to provide quality education and build a great country. For this to happen, all of us wanted India to become Vishwaguru. If we want to become Vishwaguru, or we want to be relevant, or we want to progress, we want to compete with the entire world, this was the one and only opportunity, this was the only royal path for us to achieve the goals what we wanted. So understanding this, we started implementation, and we have implemented, and it started from the year 21. And we never thought that we'll be the first state to implement. We never kept in mind to be the first in the country. That was not our purpose of implementing. We are all together, all of us were going in one direction. And once we started, when we implemented, then we came to know that we were the first state to implement, and we felt extremely happy also that we could lead from the front and implement and take this responsibility. And we are continuing in this direction, and we had very good preparation also to enable the implementation of the national education policy. We had created a tech platform, unified university college management system, which was really good enabler for the implementation of the national education policy, as well as the digitalization of the entire curriculum, and all the content was completely digitalized, class-wise, subject-wise. It was very well curated, and very good content was developed, university-wise, subject-wise, class-wise. So all these things were very enabling and facilitating the teachers and the students to learn properly, appropriately, to have the right kind of pedagogy. The pedagogy was very important. The assessment system was very important. But it is taking its own time. We are not telling you that 100% we have switched out to now 100% concept-based learning. We are trying to get into 100% concept-based learning, and assessment, if you want to do 100% concept-based learning, it becomes very difficult. So the mindset still, it has to change. The way they've been taught in schools is totally different. It was more so on the rote learning. So changing them to concept-based learning was not there in the school. What they have not learned, suddenly to switch out to the concept-based learning, it's not so easy. So there are challenges, but we need to work, we need to dedicate, we need to commit, recommit ourselves, reimagine and work towards this. This is the only way forward. If you want to really help our society, there's no other way. There's no other way. So it's good that we could see the entire policy has been more so a student-centric education policy. So the real empowerment, the real equity, each and every person who wants to see his great future, he wants to realize his dream, it can happen through this policy. And really we felt good that we are on par or better than some of the most developed countries with regard to the education policy. So all because of all these good reasons, and we feel extremely good, and we are continuing, not that we implemented and left it there. Each and every day, continuously we have been working very closely, not only just as in a government, as in a minister, we work as in a teacher, with a lot of commitment, working with all the stakeholders, taking all the stakeholders into confidence. We've been continuing our efforts. So as a team, we have been working, each and every person has contributed immensely, from the universities, from the institutions. Even our highest officers, the principal secretary, entire secretariat also was working for the implementation of the national education policy. So altogether, not even one stakeholder was out of the loop. All of them were part of the loop, and led by our chief minister. The entire team was working together, and more so guided by our committee, draft committee. Always we were inspired, committed, and encouraged by the Dr. M.K. Sridhar. Always they were pushing, and we had a very good team, resourceful team to guide us in all the levels. So that was a great strength what we had with us, and we were able to take it forward. And in this direction, more so, many more things have been taken up, and we have collaborated with the NASCOM, Infosys, Springboard, many agencies, Microsoft, Nandi, Mahindra, and Skill Connect. With all these agencies, we are able to integrate the skill into the formal education. Now the formal education, even the non-technical student are being provided with the technical program in the first year, second year, third year, and all the entire curriculum has been redrafted. It is now aligned completely with the National Skill Qualification Framework. NSQF has been completely aligned with the latest policy, and all required things, even the skilling has become part of the curriculum. And internship has become part of the learning, and we have some of the open electives or the core electives, it is a student wise choice. Even the affiliation system has completely changed. So the entire system has been reworked and facilitated, and whatever the suggestion comes forward, we respond immediately, we integrate, correct it, and take forward. So systematically we have been trying to function, and all the stakeholders we have taken into confidence, and all their concerns also have been very effectively addressed when it comes to the implementation of the pay scales, or with regard to the counseling, to the transfer, posting, addressing with their curricular career, whatever their career matters needs to be addressed, we are effectively addressing, and brought in very systematically, very progressive system and transparent, without leaving no scope for any kind of misuse or bad governance. The governance also is very well in place. Most important is effective governance, and administration also has been taken care to make it a very comprehensive system for one cause, to provide quality education and effective implementation of the third national education policy, which has happened very effectively. And we feel extremely good what our Honorable Prime Minister has been always advocating, the Amrit Kal. It started with Amrit Mahotsav, with the centenary celebration between 75 and 100. We want the complete implementation to happen in the state of Karnataka and as well as India. And the Amrit Kal should be realized. The Amrit Kal realization can happen only through quality education. If the country needs to see the real Amrit Kal or a developed country status, it can happen only through only education, no other route. There is no other way available. Even if you think any economy can be expanded, or any good things can be seen, or any progress can be seen, it can happen only through education. So we strongly believe in this direction, and we are establishing already we are establishing more than 14 public universities newly. Once the national education policy has been implemented in the state of Karnataka, we have established now 14 public universities total. In that, we have almost 4 unitary universities, 10 public universities, public affiliating universities. So gradually, district-wise, we are trying to have one university for each district, and as well as wherever we have seen excellence through the RUSA or through the NAC, wherever the quality institution have grown over the time, we have given them the unitary university status, and it will become a real good model. And in one university, Vishwesvaraya Engineering College of Engineering, we came out with a best legislation in the entire country. Thereby the right spirit of the NEP is being brought into legislation. So in that committee, our Dr. M.K. Sridhar was the member, and our V.K. Athare was the chairman, and all other members. Together they came out with a fantastic legislation, which is really going to transform the public university. If that kind of legislation, if it is brought in all the public university, we can see a big paradigm shift in the public university. It will become one of the most progressive university what we have been looking for. So with these few words, I'll stop here. If anything, any questions are there, definitely you can ask me. If I have been allowed to take questions, definitely will take. And and all my other colleagues are there to address all of you. Once again, all of you have come from different parts of the country for one cause, to strengthen education. It's only one cause. So we can help each other. Definitely we need to communicate and talk to each other, and come out with the best possible policies or the environment or ecosystem to enable the best quality education is provided to our children. Thank you. Namaskar. Jai Hind, Jai Kannada.
थैंक यू सर। आगे बढ़ते हुए, क्योंकि सिर्फ 15 मिनट बाद हमारा शिक्षा भूषण कार्यक्रम शुरू होना है,